So, interesting picks, by the way. All right, so let's look at some of this stuff you've done here. This one looks like he's really mad. This one is like meditating or like he's thinking deeply. And this one looks like he's he's appalled by what he's looking at, and this one maybe he's like really pissed or something like that. All right, so these are really cool, really cool expressions. I'm just going to see, if there are ways that I can make them better. Uh, okay, let's see. I love this. Like I love the hands. Like I love how you drew those hands. And you see, the hand drawing is so good because you used reference. That's why, I love using references. I mean, not that, it becomes like a crutch or something, but yeah, use references intelligently like this is so good. Um, so let me see the reference you used. Actually, there's no reference for that one. But yeah, it's still very good. I thought you used the reference for this. You didn't, which makes it even much better. So good. But then this arm can be a lot better. Um, I like I like his teeth, his dentition is really interesting. I don't think there's anything I can take away from it. I mean, it's a sketch at the end of the day, so it's not like it's going to be perfect. But if I was going to, nitpick, if you would permit me to nitpick, I would probably pay a little bit. I think this guy was supposed to be slim. Yeah, he's slim, thick. I think he was originally supposed to have like an ecto body and endo arm. Sorry, endo body and ecto arm. Endo body. So if it's going to have an ecto arm, I think this arm, you need to think about how this arm is going to be slim. I know he's wearing some, like, there's a fabric on top of that, but if you don't draw the arm correctly, that fabric is not going to sit well. That's the challenge with these things. So if I draw this arm like that, and then I draw this other arm correctly, then now I can apply the fabric. So let's say I want to apply fabric. I know this arm is folding back, like forward, and that thing is, the fabric is quite long because it's almost like it's getting to his elbow, so it's going to sit on his elbow. And I'm looking at the way he designed this. So the it looks like the sleeve goes like this and then goes to the back. I don't know if that's what. So let me see. Yeah, I think that's what it is. So now that means this part is going to go to the back. These things are in perspective, but I'm trying not to make it look the same as the other hand. Yeah, something like this is okay. So the cloth is going to meet itself at the back of the character like that. So this is just my own attempts to make it better. Hopefully you understand I've what I've done. If you need the PSD file, I can always send to you.
My name is Akene. I work as an environment concept artist for an animation studio based in Cape Town, South Africa. This was a really lovely class. I always like this kind of class was very much like application for me because I take a lot of like fundamentals classes, and then this was just like, now do, like draw the bodies and draw the costumes, draw the characters. And certainly for me, I felt my skill grow throughout the class. Learning things like sunesis and also the subconscious versus conscious drawing. I'm very like rule orientated, I'd say. Like, if I'm singing a song, I need to sing it exactly like it sounds. If I'm using a reference, it must look exactly like the reference. I need to like move away from that. Is a practice that I've been going through, and this class especially was like really lovely to see. Okay, that's how I do it. Like, just I definitely need to switch off my brain. And certainly as well, I really appreciated like the expressions lecture because that's something that I'm always like, oh, how do I get my character to look the same with different angles? And then just for it to come out and to see, like, yeah, you can do it. It was just a very like great confidence boost. So yeah, overall, I really appreciated the class.
This course is now available for purchase on Gumroad. Yeah, flip it back again. So let's look at other ones. This one where he's really mad. So the nose, the placement of the nose is what I think can be better. So maybe move the nose this way. You see the difference? Yours was going this way, but I feel like it should go this way because it has to bridge the, it has to connect to the eyebrows. Then you have all these things. Okay, he's meditating, so yeah, I like what you did here. Just going to look down. It's kind of looking down. Remember, the placement of these things really matter because his the nose, like this eye has to be close to the nose, right? Because what you did here, you see what you did here is too far. This is what you did, but it's supposed to be here. It's supposed to be closer to the eye. I'm going to flip this drawing, the canvas, because sometimes you need to be able to I need to be able to see what's happening on the other side. Okay. So now as he has a little bit of wrinkle here. I don't know if the forehead is this long. Was this long originally? Let me see. Oh, it's actually long. Yeah, but I don't think it's this long though. It's long, but I think it's probably somewhere around here. And try to make the shape, like make the shapes more, because this guy is he's a villain, right? So I feel like his shape language, I mean, even for protagonists, but the shape, he's bald-headed. So bald-headed people, they tend to have the skull is, it depends on the style anyway, but the skull can tend to be cornered, like four cornered, so that's why, I made making this one look four cornered. Yeah, I like what he did here. It's not symmetrical. His face, his lips are not symmetrical. It's cool. Maybe, but the teeth has to be straight, right? Because the teeth, it doesn't follow, like the teeth is not flexible. The teeth is attached to the skull. It's a rigid body, so it's not going to be as flexible as the lips. The jaw on this other side, you need to draw sorry. You need to draw the jaw on this other side. Like I said, this is overkill stuff. I'm just doing overkill stuff here. So some of these things you have to pay attention to the the anatomy of this guy, the way his arm is. So it's going to be like this. His elbows there, then his arm. Remember, the arm has the fingers have 3 folds, so it's 1, 2, 3. 3 folds. And same thing to the other side. Okay, I think I made a mistake. He's using 2 fingers because I see 2 fingers on this side. So I should have drawn 2 fingers. But anyway, it's still the same principle anyway. This is 1 finger, the other finger. But I really like this. I like this drawing, like this expression. I like the expression because he's like, you really challenge yourself and you created something that is believable. This looks like something that the character would actually do. So I'm drawing the anatomy underneath. You can, if you want to clean up this drawing better, you can use this drawers to draw the cloth on top of this body. But this is what I think the body should look like. And if we're going to draw out the chest, his body is like this. Remember, he has an endo body, so I'm going to flip the canvas again. So if I'm going to draw the anatomy, it would be like that. Hi guys, so in the fall of 2025, I got to host an 8-week masterclass titled Ethnic Character Design for Animation, which had a decent number of signups. I got to share a ton of rich information, secrets, industry insights that I used to craft an award-winning character like Noni, Eyes of Wakanda. The sessions were archived and compiled into a digestible course. This course is now available for purchase on Gumroad. So if you are an intermediate level artist seeking to diversify your portfolio to include culturally grounded characters in animation, then this is for you. Yeah, fantastic. I love the pose a lot. So please just, if you need the PSD file, let me know so that you can. Okay, this arm is quite long. I'm going to make it shorter. Make it shorter. Yeah. So you can use this PSD to clean up if you want to. Yeah, I probably will look at this one because this one is more expressive. So remember, he has a long forehead. His forehead is long, and that this angle is going to be, it's with the way it's tilted upward, it's still going to be angular. Let's just simplify the shape first, and then we can make it, we can add details later. So the shape is just like it's just a long head. This is a very challenging one. It's a very challenging one to draw. I'm also going to draw this eye. The nose. I think the way you've drawn the nose is really good. Let's look at the eyebrows. this eyebrow is tricky because when you look at a head that's tilted at this angle, the eyebrow, if the eyebrows were relaxed, they'll be here like this. Like if the eyebrows were not frowning, it would be like this. That's to show you how much gap, like how far the eyes sinks into the head. It's crazy, but when you draw people from this angle, you see it. So with that said, we have to think about that when it frowns. So it's going to go down, but not, and then to still be up like that. Yeah, something like this. Then, oops. Then can have some folds. Don't forget to give this guy folds. Like I feel like for someone who is old, I think he needs to have folds. Then the lips, the mouth is opened. And it's opening backwards. The lower lip is going to be almost straight, like depending on how open his mouth is. But yeah, I think you drew this well. You drew the lower lips well. Then the mouth, yeah, this is the upper lips. The upper lip is there. Then the tongue. And then can leave a little bit of teeth there, like that. So now we'll now look at we're going to look at the jaw. So now we're going to look at his jaw. Let me see the beards. Okay. All right, so the beards are like this. Yeah, see this pose you picked is really challenging, like, but it's good that you picked this, so that we can look at it, you can get feedback on this and use this, because if you can draw heads at angles, I know I pointed this pointed this stuff out in class, drawing heads at angles. If you can draw heads successfully at different angles, then you will not have any problems drawing expressions. So I really appreciate that you did the difficult task of picking this kind of pose. All right, now the ear is, and with this kind of force that the guy is exerting on his expression, I feel like there should be more like lines on his neck.
My name is Akene. I work as an environment concept artist for an animation studio based in Cape Town, South Africa. This was a really lovely class. I always like this kind of class is very much like application for me because I take a lot of like fundamentals classes, and then this was just like, now do like draw the bodies and draw the costumes, draw the characters. And certainly for me, I felt my skill grow throughout the class, doing things like sunesis and also the subconscious versus conscious drawing. I'm very like rule orientated, I'd say. Like, if I'm singing a song, I need to sing it exactly like it sounds. So I'm using a reference, it must look exactly like the reference. I need to like move away from that is a practice that I've been going through, and this class especially was like really lovely to see. Okay, that's how I do it. Like, just I definitely need to switch off my brain, and certainly as well, I really appreciated like the expressions lecture because that's something that I'm always like, oh, how do I get my character to look the same with different angles? And then just for it to come out and to see like, yeah, you can do it. You know, it was just a very like great confidence boost. So yeah, overall, I really appreciated the class.
This course is now available for purchase on Gumroad. Then the arms, obviously, you know, these arms can be a lot better. I'm not going to draw the hands. I'll just give you indications. So we have the elbow, knuckles, and the wrists. Sorry, the fists. Then on this other side, remember that's the shoulder. Remember that the arm forms like an isosceles triangle. So if this is the elbow, the shoulder, and the wrist, it forms like an isosceles triangle. So if you're thinking about that in this context, in deep space, it means that this arm is kind of going backwards, because for the wrist to drop like this, then it means the triangle is going inside. So that means this hand is going to go inside. Always think about that, about the isosceles, about the isosceles triangle. I'm going to flip this thing. So you see it goes inside. Then the biceps are here. Torso is here. Torso, pectoralis, shoulder, collarbone, traps. So now the same thing also applies for this one. I think I made a mistake. But what I would suggest quickly, time is fast spent, but what I would suggest quickly is, instead of making the arm so close to the body, I'll suggest, if you want to make this thing more, is to take it out of the body. So let it go like this to make it clearer, so it's easier to read when you draw it like this. The other hand will be here. You see that it's clearer to read this way. Remember the isosceles triangle, so it's going to be like this. So the shoulder, so the elbow is here. So this is a much clearer read. Yeah, this is much clearer to read. Let's move this up. So this video has been really long. I'm just trying to see how I can communicate, because this is our last assignment. So I'm just trying to, give everybody as much grace as possible. But yeah, I hope you're able to take some of these things that I've pointed out here and use them to improve your sketch. Thank you very much. If you need the PSD file, please let me know.